far beyond the lifespan of my own life. I have existed for quite a while. He says that whoever this Ghost Lord is, it's doubtless that perhaps one of the first druids, rather than to pass on their life cycle with the natural order, chose to use nature's bounty to extend their to extend one's own life at the cost of their humanity and vitality. We have heard of the Thorn Wastes as a region where the very life force of the land has been drained dry. Forests of petrified wood and creatures that have been twisted and mutilated by the forces of nature into wicked undead monstrosities. But it was commonly believed amongst the scholars of my order that this was little more than conjecture and rumor. Though we see now the proof before us that this Ghost Lord is indeed real, and this Thorn Wastes a real place.
All right.
Wow, nice rhyme.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. So he basically says that, it's impossible for them to say who the Ghost Lord would be, other than it could be one of the very first druids, back to the days of the taming of the elemental fires. And that his existence has long been rumored, as has the Thorn Wastes themselves, and that the Thorn Wastes have been said to be a place where the life essence of the land has been leached or sapped away, kind of like Western Plague Lands in WoW, if you think about it like that.
All right.
So the trees still stand, but they're long dead and have turned into petrified wood, and the creatures that roam this region are undead monstrosities.
All right. Sounds cool. Can I ask the Archmage to tap the phylactery again so I can look at the blue heart again before heading to the library?
Sure. Yeah, he draws his wand from within his sleeve and taps the top of the phylactery again, and the box opens.
I'm going to start looking at the pulsating blue heart, and I'm going to be like, this reminds me of a story I once heard. It was about two adventurers. One adventurer ended up getting a mystery substance on his hand at one point. The only thing that you could see was these sort of blue markings all over it. He's not sure how he's not sure what happened, but what we do suspect is that he might have, he might have finger banged Smurfette.
What did I just walk into?
Finger bang for you. A cautionary tale of messing with Smurfs and making potions. That's so funny. I didn't know where you were going to go. I thought you were going to make like a Titanic reference because of the blue heart necklace or whatever. That's funny.
No.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
So when we went to the Ren Fair this past Saturday, I bought this belt accessory that holds like 4 little potion vials. So I tried to make mana and health potions with food coloring and water, and the mana potion leaked right before we left. It leaked all over my right hand, and I could not get it to wash off. So I just went to the fair all day looking like I finger banged a Smurf or something.
Oh no, hanging out with that blue waffle.
Yeah, you know. So that's so funny. The one other thing I forgot to mention is that the archdruid would make some mention that the process by which one would descend into undeath and become a druid lich differs greatly than, say, the mixing of the druid craft with, say, a paladin's oath of the ancients. They're not the same. They're vastly different processes.
Right. I just kind of get the imagery of these rotting roots that just kind of take hold of everything.
Yeah, so like think about like the three-eyed raven in Game of Thrones, but like much like far older, you know, and less human now than just an undead force of nature, you know. But he kind of goes on this little preamble about you know, the differences between these two processes. So he's a little long-winded, and I will spare you that because, you know, I'm not going to just be able to make that up on the fly. But there are stark differences between the two processes. So,
all right, that's cool. With that, I'll ask him to close up the phylactery, and I'm ready to head over to the library.
okay. All right, so he will do that. He taps the side of the box with his wand, and the box closes. And as it closes and you prepare to put it in the bag of holding, he tells you to take care with that. Your enemy will surely be seeking it. With that, you can leave and prepare to go to the restricted section of the library. Gradius, welcome. Since you were not here, what do you guys want to? You guys want to give Gradius the rundown about what you're doing?
Sure.
It sounds like we put on our invisibility cloak and we're about to go into the forbidden section of the library for fourth-year students. No Harry Potter references here.
I said when I made this campaign, I was like, I'm just going to plagiarize everything I like.
Isn't that just what every DM says?
Yeah, it's literally like a hallmark of DMing is like plagiarism. Like,
I've stolen this from everything I've ever seen.
So we got back to King's Garden a couple sessions ago, and we went and had a war council with the king, and basically all of the Sun Elf forces are encroaching on King's Garden, and we have a little bit of time to kind of thwart the attempts of them getting to King's Garden and finding a way to prevent a flank from all sides. So with that, the first thing that we're going to do is basically go to the gorge or the ravine and basically blow up a bridge to prevent them from...
Man. Nothing like condoned terrorism.
Yep.
state sponsored, bro.
Oh, state-sponsored terrorism. Amazing.
Yeah. So in this, there's a map from the War Council, I think, in the group chat somewhere. And if you need it, I can send it to you. But it basically shows all these different. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just show you real quick. Real quick.
I see the bridge.
All right. So this is the King's Garden War Room, and if you scroll up to the top, you'll see the current map of the war map of the current situation in on Talos from this Sun Elf invasion.
So it seems like they're got us surrounded pretty good.
There is an Imperial army in Eastvale that is held up in on the outskirts of the city of Landcarfen, which has not yielded in any way and is putting up a stubborn defense, thereby keeping this Imperial army in the east. Other than that, anything on the map with the yellow X is deemed a threat for the coming invasion. So the Skull Gorge Bridge that the king requested be destroyed is up here at the very edge of the Ash Mountain range where you guys were. As you know, the Sun Elf, the first 3 Imperial Legions of the Sun Elf army of Voldemar are marching through Western Ashmark, headed in that direction. So the goal is to destroy the bridge, which would thereby delay their crossing through the mountain pass and force them to go overland all the way around and buy you some time. Your allies with the Anvil Breakers and Clan Broken Iron are also making their way through the Ash Mountains. In the Strait of Timoria here, the Timorian Merchant Marine Fleet has moved to blockade the narrowest part of the strait, and the Aurelian Navy has moved to support. To the south, in the Rizvari Desert, there have been, well, first I should say, the Dragonborn have withdrawn all their emissaries, and and even though the Dragonborn Emperor insists that there's no sort of trickery or deception afoot, they've withdrawn all of their emissaries and ambassadors from the city, and captured enemy correspondence suggests that there's a Sun Elf fleet landing at the port of Rime Wharf to the southwest, which will then make its way overland and seize the path of Mahuglamal under the shadow of the Ebonmaw Mountain, and thereby attempt to either invade Aurelis and reinforce the attack on Kingsgarden, or move into Timoria and threaten the Timorian heartland. If you move north from...
Sounds good.
Sorry, what was that?
I said none of this sounds good.
No, it's all bad news. It's like
It's all bad news. There's no good news.
No.
welcome to the 24-hour news cycle. I hope you had a nice dinner and get ready to be depressed. So if you move up to the northwest here, enemy correspondence has also suggested that there will be a fleet of 100 longships that were launched from a place known as Ruheim in southern Teluria that are currently making their way towards the western coast to seize Kingsport and move inland. There's a separate fleet here and here that will land along the coastline and raise settlements and cause confusion and chaos as they move, with the goal of attracting strength from the Crownlands into the Westerlands. And Sharper Lightfoot has moved into the Westerlands with a portion of Second Army as a deterrent.
First of all, we should have came there because we all know what his record is. But anyway, Hannah, all these yellow X's are pretty much where the world's fucked. To sum it up, what Craig just said.
It gets better. Oh, also down here, I forgot to mention this. In response to the Dragonborn pulling their men out of Kingsgarden and this threat of the Sun Elves, the king has ordered the closing of the Hot Gates and reinforced with elements of First Army Group on the south. If you look at the peninsula up here, there have been reports from the port city of Andor here of a prominent clan of vampires drawing what was reported by Sir Duncan Tallheart as all evil to them. Reports of werewolves, giant spiders, bats, and terrible night creatures from the hells are attacking from this mountainous fortress here. And
That
the
sounds
king,
terrible too.
yeah, the king fears that this will be,
The end.
well, yeah, pretty much. Like they fear that this threat will be unchecked. So there's also this threat of vampires from the peninsula. And
Well, maybe the vampires hate elves too.
maybe.
Hopefully.
That's the current situation. No word from Clan Durnharrow, mostly because we haven't finished against the Giants yet. So they're
We
doing,
don't know if they still exist.
they are doing something in some capacity. Like, it might just be one dwarf, but they're doing something. So that is the current situation. The Timorians
Oh,
have hired mercenaries to bolster their army, moved to defend the Shimmering Isle here and the World Tree, and also moved to defend Karlovar and the northern part of their territory. So, yeah, this is the current geopolitical situation as the invasion unfolds. So,
Yeah, I don't like none of that.
So the Aurelian royal houses or noble houses are also shown on this map. These houses will contribute their own men and strength of arms where they can during the invasion, and then there is also a opportunity that the crown wants to. It has been proposed that they empty the dungeons of men who are condemned to die, around 1,000 men, and these men, instead of meeting their end at the end of the noose or by the blade of an axe, would instead be outfitted with what is known as an arcane compliance collar and sent north to defend the Mournhold and the Northern Passage, thereby saving the strength of the royal army and offering these men a chance at redemption.
Damn.
Yeah, desperate times, so. Any questions before we go back to the city map?
So the arcane collars, that was stolen from Marvel?
No, actually, that is a feature of the game Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, okay. It's like in in the ice box where they send all the super villains or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep them from being able to use their powers.
Yeah, I thought about that, and but I think the arcane compliance collar is a thing in. I'm pretty sure they already exist in D&D, but
I was just trying to get point of reference. Yeah, from what that was stolen from.
They are in Baldur's Gate 3, but
they are too.
No surprise there, because Larian did Divinity Original Sin 2 and Baldur's Gate. So yeah, basically that.
Just making sure I'm up on my pop culture references.
Yeah.
Of your plagiarism.
The highest form of flattery, dog.
Highest form of flattery is plagiarism.
Now,
try to tell that to, what was her name? Dr. Kaufman or whatever.
I don't ever want to talk to that lady again. She's not nice.
So we're headed to the bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a pit stop to the library so I can get some.
Let's go back here. Let's go back. So, but now you should be up to date, more or less. And did you tell him about the phylactery?
No, I did not. I have a phylactery in possession of the Ghost Lord, who's basically a ancient druid lich, and that's why.
Oh shit!
That's why at the Dune Cragadum, the dragon respawned and the hobgoblin respawned into some sort of strange plant-like undead monster. So we're trying to figure out what to do with the phylactery. So I'm just sitting down and trying to get an idea who the Ghost Lord might be, and sort of figure out some of his motivations, because perhaps maybe we could.
I will.
I was just wondering about how a druid turns evil, is
differently. That's all.
What's that?
Differently. It's different. You said that earlier. Just a different process.
Yeah. So basically, it's rumored that sustains himself with the life energy of nature itself. So the region of the thorn
So,
bed,
like, instead of working with nature, he bends it.
he bends it to his will and
Will.
pretty much siphons the life from the land around him and the creatures on the lands around
Okay.
him.
That makes sense.
The Thorn Waste as a region is rumored to be a harsh, barren landscape where it was once a vast forest that's now turned into a forest of petrified wood and creatures that are all undead of one manner or another. And basically, the best way to think about that is like think about like the Western Plaguelands. How the forest is all dead and literally all the creatures there are dead. So kind of like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't make this up. The Ghost Lord himself is taken from a module, which I have sort of kind of very, very loosely adapted in this campaign. So wish I could take credit for the cool idea, but you know. And the Arch Druid, right before you logged on, would have went on like a 10-minute diatribe about how it's not the same thing as a Paladin's Oath of the Ancients. Like, he really wanted to clarify that.
Oh, he was very adamant about it.
He likes to talk.
Okay.
So anyway, with that, you can go to the restricted section, Savik. It would be a quick jaunt from your quarters or the Archmage's quarters to go to the library, which is right here.
All right.
I'm just going to grab your token, Gradius, so I have it.
All I know is, for some reason, the restricted section always has the information we need.
All right, so you enter into the library, and Archmage will escort you to, excuse me, the restricted section. And I guess it would just kind of be a gated off section of the library. And as you go through, you can see he's sort of waving his hands and murmuring a little bit to disable arcane wards as you approach the restricted section. And as he disables these wards, he gets to the gate and inserts the key and opens it. He turns and looks to you, Savik, but pauses when he looks at your companions and says, he holds up a hand and says, "You can go no further."
I'm just going to say that makes sense because I wouldn't understand any of it anyway.
Staff only.
Be like a child looking at a calculus book.
Yeah, yeah.
What is this sorcery?
That is a very apt way to describe it. Yeah. All right, so if you guys are going to comply, which I would, I would. if I were you.
I'm complying. I don't know so much about Dave, but I'm complying.
Gallandan, are you going to comply and stay out of the restricted section?
Wait, I'm not supposed to be here?
You can stay on outside in the unrestricted section of the library. You can look in the library, but not you can't go in with them to the restricted section as you're not a member of the university nor staff.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check.
Is it poorly lit in the restricted section?
No, it is not.
Is there any light?
Yeah, there's a ton of light.
Gay.
There's a wizard's library. Gay.
There's an unnatural amount of light.
Yeah, it's as bright as the morning sun in here.
I'm not interested.
All right. Well, if you're not interested, you're gonna hear somebody pipe up from your backpack. We don't need this fucking guy. Let's go see what we can find in this library. Let's go see if we can find me a body. You hear the voice say from within your backpack.
Why is there a voice coming out of Dave's backpack?
Oh, you don't know?
Gallandan, would you like to tell me why there's a voice coming out of your backpack?
I got the lonely guy with just a skull in my backpack,
He,
and
yeah, go ahead.
he has yet to tell me why he has a problem with gnomes. And
Oh, he doesn't like gnomes, like race
Right?
problem, or
what's wrong with this? He's like, let me find a body. And I'm like, well, how about a gnome body? And he's like, no, I don't want that. And I'm like trying to get to the bottom of that before I go any further with this guy. So,
I need to
I'm like, no,
understand your
dude.
racist undertones before I
Dude,
allow you to do this.
I can't sneak in here, guy. And what's in there? What's in there that either of us would want? It's a bunch of nerds reading books, and it's too brightly lit.
You hear Garter says on the turd. He says, no, not in there. He says, let's go look at the rest of the library. Maybe you can steal some scrolls and we can sell them and get me a body. All you got to do is go to the morgue and get me a body, he says.
If I can't sneak into the restricted area, the normal area is gonna be 1,000 times more boring.
He says, well, yeah, have you ever been in a library before? They have all these stupid rules, like you got to be quiet. You can't be doing dark blood rituals.
You can't be doing dark blood.
Is the librarian the one in charge of the books and scrolls? There is their name Nolenberger?
They only
And you,
speak.
and you can't understand what she's saying.
They only speak in a hushed whisper, so quiet that you have to make a successful perception check to understand what the fuck she's telling you.
Don't play games in the library. What?
Oh my gosh. Can't hear you. Can you speak up? Say it again. Go to the office. I heard that. So he took the tiefling, the blackened tiefling skull that you guys found at the start of the campaign that Savik had kept in his quarters and convinced Gallandan to take him along for a little adventure and try and restore his body. And Gallandan asked him if he could get him a gnome's body, and Gardos said he didn't like that because he's a tiefling and he's trying to restore his body, and he doesn't want to be on the body of a tiny gnome or a halfling. He wants a regular sized body.
Oh yeah.
You know, I forget. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it's all the farther the conversation got.
While they're in the restricted section, can I just like walk around and look over people's shoulders while they're sitting there reading, trying to try and say, "Hey, what you reading?" Like behind them.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So Savik, I'm going to move your token just so you can see the shape of the library. So you can see the library here is kind of a circular style building. And it's right here. So
Okay.
yeah, you just pick a wing and go for it, and then I'll tell you who's around. But while you do that, Savik, you're in the restricted section.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take
anybody can talk.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take a few steps into the restricted section of the well lit part of the library. And I'm gonna
extremely well lit library.
Yeah. I'm gonna begin looking around to see what's on the shelves or what's around.
Okay. So going into the restricted section. Excuse me.
I don't understand why it's so well lit. Are people like trying to read or something?
It's just in case people want to sneak around. No, I don't know. You see numerous large tomes, plain and unadorned, on the spine of the book. So these large tomes with fine bound leather covers are on either side of the restricted section. And at the very end of the hall, you can see a large rack of scrolls tightly wrapped and bound with wax seals.
Okay.
So two long shelves of tomes or
Yeah.
grimoires, and then at the end of that row, well, you got to think like this restriction section isn't that big, right? But it
Right.
holds a lot of arcane knowledge. And at the end of that row of books, there's this large scroll shelf that holds all these scrolls that are bound.
Okay. I'll reach and grab a few books off the shelf, and then I'll take a couple of the scrolls as well, and I'll carefully put them out on a table and just slowly start leafing through them.
Okay. Well, what in particular are you looking for?
I guess I would probably be looking for I don't know. I guess in terms of for destroying a bridge, I guess disintegrate would be a pretty good one.
Okay. You find, well, do you want to roll for it or do you just want me to tell you for the sake of speed?
I'll roll for it.
Werewolf novels for young adults.
Oh God! Hope he fails that check.
That's in the smut section.
In the smut section.
Yeah, that's in the smut section. You'll probably find many female students over there reading those dirty smut novels. 17 is good. Okay, so you're going along. Maybe perhaps the Archmage is in there, so perhaps you're speaking with him about your needs.
Sure.
Okay, so you're Go ahead. What were you gonna
So
say?
I'll look. I'll start leafing through the tomes that I pulled out, and start looking for just scrolling through it pretty fast. Just leafing through it, trying to look for identifiers of something that would be akin to the disintegrate spell. Notably being the green energy that sort of spawns forth from your finger.
Yep.
And I'll ask the Archmage, if it would be located in one of these tomes, and do you think
so the
do you
Oh,
think
go ahead,
that would
go
be
ahead.
helpful in assisting to destroy the bridge, or do you think it would be better to put, say, like a ward on the bridge as well?
So the Archmage will listen to your request, and when you mention disintegrate, he pulls out his wand and points it at the one bookshelf to your right, and a leather-bound tome flies off the shelf to his hand. He sets it on a small table in front of you, and he says, "Let's start with high-level transmutation spells." He says, "In these tomes, you'll find high-level spells for all schools of magic, save necromancy. Those are locked in my vault beneath my residence."
Sounds like he's a necromancer to me.
I think he's more like,
and we know how the Raven Queen feels about that. I need to get into his personal vault and burn all those tomes.
yeah, I'm sure he's going to go for that random dwarf cleric. He says disintegrate is a good spell to start. He says, but why stop with just disintegrate? And he's going to point at the shelf and a couple more places, and 3 more books fly off the shelf. The first is a tome of arcane symbolism, and then a book of arcane glyphs, such as glyphs of warding and explosion and stuff like that. He says both of these should be helpful in your pursuit to destroy the bridge.
Okay. I'll start looking through those as well, and I'll start sifting through them to see what I can find.
Okay. What are the other 2 of you doing?
Like I said, I'm just harassing random library people, seeing what to read.
Are you in the eastern or western wing of the library?
Oh, if it's a circle, how is there an east or a west?
Well, you start.
I guess I'll
going
start
one
the
direction.
east side.
I don't know.
Yes,
How does a
start-
compass work if it's a circle, bro?
I don't know. I'm a dwarf. I don't know these things.
Oh my.
Compass? You get lost?
All right. Anyway, you start walking here, and I'll say there are perhaps. Oh no. You find one person in the library as you start walking.
Oh man, what are they?
Uh,
Do I need to make a perception check?
Let me just ask the internet. Yeah, you can make a perception check to see.
What race they are?
Yeah.
You'd ask the internet what race the random person.
No. I'm just letting you know that you could check that out because unlike the restricted section, it's not as well lit in the other side.
Oh, okay.
Oh, one. Well, it's kind of hard for you to tell in the dim light of the library.
I'd like to guess that it's
We thought it was bright in here.
and call them a tiefling.
It's not bright everywhere. I mean, they got to pay the electric bill, bro. Like, Okay, so as you're walking along, you see a figure sitting quietly and alone at a desk, engrossed in a tome that appears to be well worn, made of well-worn leather.
Actually, can I change it to a tabaxi?
Oh, you want it to be a tabaxi?
No, I'm just saying I'm going to assume that it's a tabaxi and say, hey, what's up, tabaxi? What you reading?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna just walk up behind this person and say that?
Yeah.
Are you saying it loudly or are you whispering?
No, I'm going to sneak up behind him and say it real loud.
Okay.
So you know how you're reading something and somebody gets in and startles you? Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Sure. Okay. So as you go up to this person and say that, you startle them, and rather angrily they turn to glare at you. You see that she is not a tabaxi, rather an elven woman, and her skin is a soft hue, the color of pale moonlight, with long silver hair cascading down her back. Her eyes are a deep, luminous green, and she wears a long, flowing robe of deep violet, embroidered with arcane symbols denoting her field of study.
At this point, I'm going to yell over to Galandan and say, yo, bro, I think you'll like this one. And then just go sit in a corner by myself.
All right, so when you yell, from across the room, an unseen figure yells, "Shh, quiet."
But yeah, now I'm just going to go run and sit in a corner by myself in shame. After pointing out this elvish woman.
We're going to get arrested if we keep yelling in the library. And I'm going to yell across the library to tell them that.
All right, so when you yell, this elf sitting at this table just kind of leans back angrily in her chair and lets out this very audible sigh, like, oh. And again, an unseen figure yells in your direction, "This is the library."
And the final big bag comes out. Mrs.
Yeah.
Nolenberger.
Nolenberger appears. The boss battle music from Dark Souls begins. You're getting sent to the office. Yeah, so one elven woman in whatever wing of the library you're in, and she's reading a tome, and you guys are being very loud. And like I said, her skin is the color of pale moonlight.
That's why I said Galandan might be interested in.
So
Though he doesn't seem so anymore.
Yeah, it does not seem that way. So I guess.
What am I interested in?
Oh my God!
There's an attractive woman reading a book, and she's an elf.
What kind of elf? I'm gonna go over and see what kind of elf.
Well,
Well, I thought it was a tabaxi, so.
well, you did roll a fucking 1. You did roll a 1 on your perception check. So she seems vaguely humanoid to you.
It could be a lamp.
What are you doing, Gallandan?
I'm gonna go see what kind of elf they are.
Okay.
I've been reading a book.
Okay. What have you? Okay. You've been reading a book. All right.
Yeah, it's got pictures in it.
Oh, okay. What kind of pictures?
Dark elves.
Dark elf hentai.
I didn't say
That's
that.
in Baldur's
You did.
Gate 3.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah. And yeah, that might as well be Baldur's Gate 3.
What do you mean? All I have to do is burn down a druid grove.
Like what? Like, it's like I would never betray the tieflings. Did you know Minthara sits on your face? I gotta go. Like, I gotta go right now. I'm gonna go do great evil things. All right. So you're reading a book on dark elves, and Gradius yells over to you that there's an elf woman that you may like. So you're gonna walk over to her. She's the only person sitting in this section of the library reading a book. She wears a robe of what did I say? Flowing violet robe. Yeah, she wears a flowing robe of deep violet, embroidered with arcane symbols in silver thread that denote her College of Magical Study. The elven woman has skin the soft hue of pale moonlight with long silver hair cascading down her back, and her eyes are a deep luminous green.
Wait,
What?
so he rolled a 1 and okay, it wasn't I thought you were I thought it was the tabaxi.
No, he thinks it's a tabaxi because he rolled a 1, but it's actually an elven woman.
Oh, okay.
That's what she actually looks like if you were to walk up to her.
Okay, well, excuse me, miss.
She looks up. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if I'm getting attention or not, so.
If you're going to go up and speak to her, she will look up
Yeah.
slowly from her book and give you this kind of sideways glance like she does. She seems a little irked. Yes, she said.
Okay, from a 1 to 10 scale, what is she?
Well, why don't you roll for that to determine how attractive you think
All
she
right,
is?
we're going to roll a D10.
Okay. Okay.
How did your D&D campaign turn into misogyny?
A better question would be, how come you didn't get to the fucking bridge tonight? Well, these two.
Hopefully we can fast travel to the bridge.
These two incels on a buddy cop adventure saw one woman in the library and couldn't handle it.
Holy
Does she have reading glasses?
A real woman! Oh my god! Two incels on a buddy cop adventure sounds like a pretty accurate description. Okay, so you rolled a 9, so to your eyes, she is strikingly beautiful.
No, that's on the objective scale. Oh, the D10 did it.
No, didn't you roll the D10 to see how attractive she is?
Yeah,
Yeah, so a 9 out of 10.
everybody agrees. Everybody agrees it's 9.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if you were quoting current people running for president with that statement. Ask anybody. She's a 9. Believe me.
Well, I have a proposition for this individual. What's her name?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her what her name is.
Her name is Silence Trenchcoat Police.
No, that is not it.
Wow,
Close.
you inject all my names now.
Close, but not quite.
That's because
Posted
that
vote treasure
name,
too.
that name is not even remotely elf-like, bro.
All right, let's do something basic like Gondolin.
No, excuse me. That is a realm of Gondor. So quiet. Her name is Lithalia Star Whisper. You know, how do you like that, Galandan Moon Whisper? Lithalia Star Whisper. Now spell
Oh
it.
shit, Galadan, isn't that your sister?
Oh yeah, my bad.
You're suddenly, for some reason, very attracted to your own sister. Surprise, this is Game of Thrones.
I didn't know you were a Lannister.
Listen, I didn't watch that show, so I am immune from the corruptive influences of all things Game of Thrones.
A Lannister always fucks their sister.
I feel like I'm remembering that wrong. I don't think that's the right quote.
It's definitely not how it goes. It's definitely not how it goes.
Okay, well then I guess I'll be like, oh, I didn't know there was a Star Whisper here.
And she turns to
I'll
look at
take
you.
you for one.
Yeah, she turns to look at you and raises an eyebrow, and will take note of the fact that you may share common heritage. And she turns to get a better look at you, and she gives you sort of an appraising look up and down from head to toe. And she goes, well, I don't see many moon whispers here. What brings you to the capital?
Well, yeah, a 10 out of 10 like myself can't be everywhere at once. But I'm just out here trying to start my credit card company and save the world and build a moon tower all at the same time. And a bank.
Will it be accepted more places than American Express?
You got to think up a good name for your credit card, too.
Oh, I had one. I wrote it. I have one. What do they? Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna do is ask, what do they have? Her doing? What's she doing here? And then if she would be interested in a more lucrative opportunity, modeling for. I know what you're thinking, but that's not it. For billboards plastered everywhere on the credit card. What are they called? Moon cards. I guess we'll just call them moon cards because I forgot what I came up with. Opening up a bank, and we're gonna start. Everybody's gonna have a moon card because that bank got robbed, and it's sad. Everybody knows it, but I'm coming up with a solution, and we could use some good people to join the team. What do you say, Star Whisper? Or unless you got some other more important matters at hand here. I can't see that book you're reading, but is that werewolf novel?
Oh my god.
She sort of raises her top lip in disgust and closes the tome, and she says, for your information, Moon Whisperer, I'm studying divination magic. She says, I'm fascinated by the mysteries of fate, prophecy, and the unseen threads that bind the past, present, and future together. She says, why should I abandon my studies and model for your billboards? Okay. What kind of modeling is this going to be?
Well, I'll tell you that later, but if you were really studying divination magic, you would have seen me coming and wouldn't have that blush you have on your face right now.
She moved to she moved to speak, but is indeed speechless. And yeah, wanted to tell you what, you say that, make a charisma check for me.
Charisma check.
Yeah,
Riz, skibby edge.
yeah, let's make a Riz check. Let's see how much Riz you got.
Skibby edge,
Yeah.
Riz check, Riz.
Yeah.
Everybody
Let's see
born
if you have
before the
skibbity
90s.
toilet.
What's a Riz check?
It's another word for the brain rot consuming modern society.
Skibby edge.
Oh, understood.
Riz. Where's Gallandan at? Oh, here he is.
Are you
check?
Are you just now opening your damn character sheet?
I'm role playing. What do I need character?
I'm going to
sheet for?
assist him with his
Awesome.
charisma
Awesome.
check.
Help action. Oh hell yeah! What am I supposed to? You just want me to roll charisma with a +1?
So you're flirting with her, so you need to roll something that will correspond.
You said flirting. I'm just.
Are you
talking.
flirting with? You are speaking with her, so you need to roll something associated with speaking with her. How about that? But it doesn't have to just be straight up charisma. It can be whatever you want, but you have to declare it, and then we have to make sure it makes sense, please.
Like
Okay.
I said, I'm assisting.
Yeah, and
I'm wingmanning. Wingman.
Gradius is gonna wingman. Let's see if Gradius is as good of a wingman as he is in
Maybe
real
this would
life.
be a survival check.
Oh wow! How would it be a survival check? How would it be a survival check?
You want me to make that argument?
Dude, my neighbors are probably walking by like, why is he yelling?
Why is he yelling about survival checks?
All the windows are open. I feel like Gabe in the office. Shut up about the sun. Shut up about the sun. Anyway, yeah, explain to me why this would be survival.
Well, when you survive, what do you do?
Hold on, let me make this
No,
argument.
no.
Let me make this argument real quick.
Oh my God.
Have you passed your survival check on Tinder?
I need a shot of liquor or something. Like,
You need a shot of liquor? I thought.
Oh
it was
my
a good argument.
God. Yes, I have passed my survival check on Tinder because,
Okay.
No,
well,
no, you
don't have
cannot
to
roll
say
survival.
anything.
No, you cannot roll survival. You have to, no.
Well, what is survival?
Well, you explain to me why it would be survival.
I'm walking up to you're the one that said this is flirting, so obviously that has to do with survival, right?
No.
Really?
I mean, it might be only a +1, but you are ruling with advantage. So
All right, I'll just roll a charisma check.
Let me see. Let me just see. Let's see. Let me just consult the internet.
no, the internet's not going to agree with us. We might as well save time.
There is.
I'm gonna roll a charisma check with advantage.
I mean, if you're trying to persuade her, maybe you could roll persuasion. Or if you're
Oh.
trying to deceive her, let's say you're telling her, I'm going to put you on billboards, but you're actually going to put her in elf porn. So you'd be lying to her.
Oh, the Epstein spiel.
Yeah. Or let's say you and Gradius are going to try and, hit her with some music, song, or poetry. You could do a performance check. Or, you're trying to convince her that this is her only real hope of survival outside of academia. You could roll intimidation.
Wow, it kind of got a little dark there.
Well, you are trying to open a very predatory credit card network in my kingdom, so you know.
We're gonna have you're gonna take an adverse stance against this.
Let's talk.
Completely legitimate business venture.
Welcome to my TED Talk about macroeconomics and the predatory nature of credit card companies on disadvantaged citizens.
We've already established that interest rates are a common accepted financial practice in this kingdom. Therefore, by extension, credit cards are the same thing.
Oh my God.
Well, if that's the case, if interest rates exist,
Yes,
he's
yes.
gonna need a credit card company just to be able to afford to pay back that tiger milk.
Do you know what the estimated cost is of his moon tower? Do you know what the royal engineer told him it would cost with a discount of 150,000 gold pieces? Do you know what the cost is going to be? Just take a guess.
100,000.
600,000 gold pieces to
Ooh.
build this thing.
Oh, good. It sounds like we're gonna have to rob a few more banks.
Yeah. And then we didn't delay the empire at all. We instead went to meet with him to see if they'd finance my new construction project.
So when you guys win,
Listen, all I really want you to do is let me build this awesome thing. Like,
Okay, well, I'll roll a persuasion check because I gotta get going here in the next minute or two.
okay,
But,
go ahead.
I'm trying to. You shouldn't have to get up and do anything right now, but I'm just saying, when we get this up and running, I want to be persuading her of this completely legitimate business venture in the realm of Cave Garden.
Okay. Maybe you guys will just exchange contact information if you're successful. Oh, you have yeah, I was gonna say you have advantage. So 23 is good.
23.
23 is good. All right. So you say that to her, and she does blush a little bit at your suggestion, and her demeanor towards you sort of changes, and she all of a sudden this somewhat warm smile crests her face. And she says, well, I imagine it can't hurt to have a backup plan. And with that, she sort of slides her divination tome slightly away from her and leans a little bit closer towards you and says, tell me more about this opportunity.
And I will. Cut.
All right, so make a note. I'll make a note, of course, that you met Lethalia Star Whisper and she is interested in your business name. I'm going to put it on the. I have a whole section of my spreadsheet just for Gallandan actions.
What's it called?
is it broken down by perversion?
It's just no. It's literally one of my columns on my spreadsheet, and the header to it is Gallandan follow up.
Oh, I guess we should make our way to the bridge now that he's done flirting.
Well, David, do you have any other business in the restricted section?
Just trying to get a hold of some of the. No, not really. I guess I can. I guess I can take my time now that.
Well, I would just say while this is going on, you're in there with the. Oh, see you, buddy. Thanks for coming. I hope you had fun. I thought it was really funny. So. You're in there with the Archmage, and he as he's pulling tomes off of the wall and handing them to you, he walks to the end of the restricted section, grabs a couple of scrolls, slides them across the table to you, and he says, it can't hurt to be prepared. And let me see. Well, I tell you what, we can figure out what spells you need. let's just presume that most of them are readily available to
Okay.
you as a staff member for the university and a trusted colleague of the Archmage. So we can determine that for next.
You know what we should do?
but-
You know what we should do
What's that?
is we should go to his private vault to get the necromancy books, because then we can raise an army of the dead to tear down the bridge.
So, you can certainly do that, but you should keep in mind that as of now in game, you are the Raven Queen's champion, and she absolutely abhors on death in any form.
I'm aware of that. Do you not remember my first plan?
No, I know. I'm just saying she may not look favorably upon that, and you may have to explain some things to the mother of ravens.
Well, it's clear that my deception worked, so we should go with that plan.
Let me see if I can find that cool picture of her I found the other day. That's not the one.
Because it's all just a plan to get the books so we can burn them.
So this is actually not the picture that I'm looking for, but check this out. This was generated with AI. I needed it for, I'm working on the Pantheon of Gods on World Anvil at the present. And this image was generated with AI. Pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah. That looks good.
I just want to say, wood.
She does have that Melisandre look.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, she looks like a goth lady, like a cute goth lady with weird black eyes.
That's where her soul used to be.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, so Savik, we can determine what spells you get
All
in
right.
the restricted section. We can talk about that this weekend. Just for the sake of brevity. What is the plan now? To head out?
Yep.
There's a glove shop I'd like to stop by real quick. No, seriously, we should head out.
So I believe the Archmage informed you that he could teleport you there as he has seen this bridge before.
Ooh, fast travel.
Yeah. The bigger question is, how will you return? They could dispatch the Dragonwing for you again,
Nah,
or you
just-
could return by magical means.
Yeah, just give us a scroll of teleport.
Let's just presume one of the scrolls that he slides across the table to you is a scroll of teleport.
All right.
Fair?
Yep.
I mean, obviously they would keep I feel like a scroll of teleportation would be kept in the restricted section. Pretty
I
powerful.
also feel like that would be pretty common for an archmage to have.
Of course. All right.
And it
So,
also seems way more feasible than sending out an airship to pick up 4 people.
sure.
Well,
and I mean,
3 and 1
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah. You know, also you also have to consider the Crown is rapidly trying to develop a secondary airship as we speak to hopefully be prepared in time for the coming battle. You know, it's almost like there's part of this campaign right now that was made for like somebody to play an artificer.
There's an artificer in our campaign?
I think there was once. Whoops. Okay. So anyway, if you have no further business in the city, the Archmage he can teleport you. So let's presume you leave the library. He closes up the restricted section behind you and reactivates all the wards as you make your way out of the building. So if you were to follow the Archmage back over to his quarters, Savik, he'll look at you and ask you if you need anything from him before you depart.
No. Except
He
maybe
nods
if
at you. Oh, go
well,
ahead. I'm
that's not.
sorry.
Maybe if he had just has some extra potions or something lying around.
He nods at you and reaches. Carries like like the bag, like a messenger bag, like the bag I carried at the Ren Fair. He reaches into his pouch and pulls out a couple potions and let's.
All right.
A man satchel.
Yeah, a man person, a merce. Let's just say he gives you 3 potions of greater healing.
Does one of them leak on our hand?
No, no. Thank God. Should have seen me at the fair, dude. I was just going up and buying beers with a blue hand. Half my hand was blue, dude. I couldn't get it to wash off.
Dude, that's just a jumping off point, man. You should play it to your advantage.
Honestly, I just completely forgot about it as the day went on, and then when I got home, I was like, I'll just scrub and, we're going again this weekend, and some more friends of mine are going to be there, Wes. So we'll get to meet up with some drinking buddies.
Sounds good.
Wait, you have more friends than us?
Well, no, not really. Yeah, they're like casual acquaintances. Anyway, before I get sidetracked talking about the fair, so he's going to give you those 3 potions of greater healing, and as you take them, he places a hand on your shoulder and looks you in the eye, and he says, "You go on a mission of great importance to this kingdom. It is vital that we destroy this bridge. Will give the king's forces time to gather their strength and prepare for what comes next. You should move quickly and efficiently if possible. We do know that there's an army of the Empire on the loose and headed that way. So the sooner you can destroy the bridge, the better."
Okay.
With that, he nods at you again and he says, "Are you prepared?"
Let's proceed with haste.
So be it.
Says nobody ever in this campaign.
He says that
13 weeks later at the bridge.
we got to stop here at a mega dungeon first. He says that he and Brannick, the Archdruid, will be eagerly awaiting your return. And before he casts the teleportation spell, he reminds you to keep your sending stone close and stay in contact as you can. He says, should you find yourself in trouble, contact me and I will do my level best to send reinforcements your way. A couple high-ranking battle mages should do it, though we should try and save every battle mage we have for the coming battle. So with that, if you guys gather, he's going to raise his staff and strike the ground, and the ground under your feet will begin to glow with like a bluish hue, and roll a D100.
A D. A
You end up
D100.
somewhere completely wrong.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, it has happened, and yeah, then 13 weeks later we make it to the bridge.
This is how it all begins.
Just in time for my Christmas one shot.
A 47.
47 is good. You are right on target. Your feet leave the ground as the city of Kingsgarden fades away under your field of vision, and you are teleported to the north, back into the Ash Mountains once more. And give me a second. I gotta find the map for the bridge. All right, I got it here. I'm going to send some pictures of what this looks like. And I'll also show you on the map of the Ash Mountains where you guys are specifically. All right, I'm just going to take a screenshot of the Northern Passage and show you guys. So pretty close to Cedric Vipern's Keep on the Borderlands. Let me see, where's my snipping tool? And we'll draw this in red ink. Yep. There. Why did that do that? That's all right. It doesn't matter. Ignore the big blue streak on the map. I'm not sure why I did that.
It knows.
Circled in red is the Skull Gorge Bridge that leads into Ashmark. The blue circles to the north and the south. To the south is the Fortress of Dune Kragadum, and to the north is Cedric Vipern's Keep on the Borderlands. So that's about where you guys are at the present.
All right, so we didn't end up too far.
No. Sort of back in the old stomping grounds, so to speak. Now let me get to the bridge. Why can't I open that from there? Get to the chopper.
The chomper.
All right, so directly in front of you is a long stone bridge, and let me read the actual description here. Ahead of you is a stretch of barren ground, about 60 feet wide, ending in a gorge. I suppose it would be late in the day now. The moon reaches its peak in the sky above and begins its descent as you near your destination. A pale white light both illuminates and casts deep shadows, making the image of the gorge stretch out below. I can't really see that, so give me a second. There we go. The pale white light of the moon both illuminates and casts deep shadows, making the image of the gorge stretched out below, faintly visible and deeply ominous. Roughly 100 feet wide at its narrowest point, the gorge drops away precipitously to a fast rushing stream far below. How far below is difficult to say. A bridge of stone crosses this massive cleft, anchoring one side to the other. Large stone towers with pentagonal roofs stand at either side of the bridge. The bridge itself seems sturdy despite its obvious age. It's impossible to say how long the structure has been here. And it is clearly the only easy way to cross, since the gorge continues as far as the eye can see to the east and the west. You guys all have dark vision, I suppose?
Yep.
I am a dwarf.
Yeah. Well, I like to ask, nice to flex that you have dark vision.
I have dark vision. Can I see?
Yes, you can. Nice. Nice. At the other side of the bridge, you can make out light from campfires glowing in what must be a small encampment at the other side of the gorge, at the base of the bridge. The glow of torchlight from the top of two of the towers on the far side of the bridge also catches your gaze. It is likely that there are archers stationed there. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. I need to reveal the rest of this in order to accurately describe it. Sorry, so hold that thought, please. All right, here goes. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay there, boys. All right, where was I? So you can see campfires across the other side of the bridge from a small encampment and the faint glow of torchlight at the top of the towers, the two towers down here at the other end of the bridge. It is
Before
likely-
we left, did they inform us that there would be Allied forces stationed here?
You were informed by the Archmage that there was an army heading that way. So you could reasonably deduce that this is likely a forward advanced party of that army sent to perhaps secure the bridge crossing. So it is likely there are archers stationed on top of these two towers at the far end of the bridge. Atop the northwest tower, there's a large black silhouette. I don't have that here, but just give me a second. Those with dark vision can make out a few more finer details, although from the distance across the bridge, this is a distance of about 300 feet. The distance is it is difficult to discern much from your current position. Several prominent figures are moving about the bridge, and you can tell that not all of them are elves. One creature in particular stands out. Their eyes glowing as bright as a torch in the darkness as they look in your direction. That would be this creature here in the center of the bridge. The creature itself is a tall, muscular humanoid with white fur. He bears a strong resemblance to a lion and appears armored from head to toe, minus his head. Or, I'm sorry, not from head to toe. From his shoulders down, I should say. His head itself is exposed, and that's why you can see his glowing eyes. I need to grab one more thing. Atop the northwest tower, if you have dark vision, which you guys do. Okay, so those without dark vision might mistake their glowing eyes for torches. However, the creature atop the northwest tower, to you, is clearly a dragon.
Oh, that's not very nice.
A
The shimmer of the
dragon.
moonlight on its scales suggests that it is either a green dragon or a black. Though without getting much closer, you cannot be sure. On the center of the bridge, there is a very, very small advance party. From this distance, perhaps 10 warriors in total. You can mark by the torchlight 2 or 3 others upon each of the towers. The imposing warrior standing at the far end of the bridge, bearing a strong resemblance to a white lion walking on its hind legs. Lion folk, Leonin, I believe they're called. And of course, a dragon sits perched atop the northwestern tower. This green dragon, if it is a green dragon, appears significantly larger than the green dragon you fought at the Fortress of Dune Kragadum. And this is the Skull Gorge Bridge. Any questions?
Why?
Why?
Guess it's time to use that scroll to teleport.
Yeah, guys, Balzai Bridge is fucked.
Listen, it might not even be as bad as you guys are thinking.
That's what she said.
I've seen you face much worse odds than these. And this is just a small advance party. The dragon is, of course, the biggest threat, but, we'll have to wait and see how you guys want to do it. So, nobody said you have to go the whole way over there to destroy the bridge. The bridge just has to be destroyed. So, questions? Because I feel like this is a good place to call it for next time.
How, like, you say we don't have to make it all the way across. How far do we have to make it to destroy the bridge?
Well, the bridge has to be destroyed enough that it's not easily repaired. So keep that in mind. I would say you don't have to completely destroy it, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys to discuss. And then next week we can figure out exactly what you need to do. But I would say if you're planning, like, you wouldn't want to just break like 20 feet square like this, you know?
Yeah,
Because they could easily just repair that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, you don't want something that they could like just jump over too.
Yes. So the bridge needs to be put out of commission enough that it's not going to be easily repaired.
What materials is the bridge made out of?
Stone. I mean, it's old stone. As a dwarf, you could, you should be able to tell some of that. Don't dwarves have some kind of stone cutting? That's what it is, right? Like.
Oh yeah, that we can discern like its fragility and.
Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, so you would make, for stone cutting, you make an intelligent history check related to the origin of the stonework in front of you. You are considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency bonus because you're a dwarf.
God damn.
So yeah, you could easily. Are you rolling right now?
Yeah, not very well though. Apparently.
Did you add double your proficiency bonus?
Yeah, it was 11.
Sorry, I'm looking at something else right now.
Yeah, I rolled a 13 because that's what I do.
That's fine.
Apparently, I have the new Klein level rolls.
Somebody has to take that on when I'm DMing, bro. Because I roll pretty good when I'm DMing, but when I'm
playing, I know the only time you can roll good.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start with the stats themselves of the bridge. The armor class for the bridge is 17.
I just started hitting it with my hammer. Gotta chip away at it somehow.
With your stone cutting skill, you can tell this bridge is extremely old. It has been here for hundreds of years and was likely constructed by some of the first dwarves to ever settle within this valley. That said, despite its impressive stonework, there are certain weak points to the bridge that you could discern along the way with another successful stone cutting check. But
oh my God, 13 again.
13 again. All right. Well, let's say with a 13, there are parts of the bridge where the AC is only 15.
Okay. Now, can I point those out to Savik since he's going to be the big guns?
Sure. So from where you are now, it would be difficult exactly to see. Actually, let me check. Hold on. Let me check the module real quick. Okay. I got it here. Sorry. I have it on PDF, so I have to scroll through all that bullshit.
Very good.
All right. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get this in my other window so I can read this and mark this at the same time. So the Skull Gorge Bridge has several noticeable weak points. The first being the very center of the bridge. The central arch of the bridge has borne the weight of countless travelers and heavy loads over the centuries since its construction. Taking a deeper look, hairline for why is that so thin? I need that to be extra large.
That's what she said.
Oh, I'm not even on the right layer. Yeah, large boy. Hairline fractures have begun to spread through the stone, subtle but growing more pronounced with each passing year. These cracks, though small, could become a serious concern if not tended to. At the far end of the bridge, the western support pillar, which is, I got to be careful, I don't want to select any of these guys, around here.
Okay.
Western support pillar. It would be closer to the edge here, but I got a bunch of shit right here. So I'll just draw that there. The westernmost pillar closest to the entrance of the far side of the gorge has somewhat eroded where the bridge meets the walls of the canyon. No doubt from years of the flow of the river below eroding the rock wall. Thereby weakening the foundation of the bridge above. The erosion of the the cliff facing is not yet catastrophic, but is a vulnerable point that could give way under excessive strain. The parapets by these towers have also not fared well, and that goes for both sides of the bridge. The parapet that line the sides of the bridge have not fared as well as the core of the structure. Time and weather have chipped away at the stone, leaving some sections crumbling and surprisingly brittle given its construction. The weakened parapets are less stable and could easily be dislodged by force or by accident at the base of the structure. So the bottom of these towers are not holding up so well. Lastly, the southernmost edge of the bridge, which is closest to you guys, where the bridge meets solid ground, has settled unevenly over the years and caused a slight but noticeable dip in the roadway where the stones meet the bridge. The roadway itself has shifted and created a slight instability in the surface. Though not an immediate danger, it's a spot that could worsen if burdened too much with too much weight or neglect. So there are several structural weaknesses in the bridge, mainly at the center, the western support pillar at the far end of the bridge, and the parapets, as well as the part closest to you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good. I'm just reading it straight from. So let's see. So those are some possible points of contention that you could utilize to destroy the bridge. Questions?
No, that sounds pretty good.
Thoughts?
Sounds like they shouldn't have a dragon land on that bridge. It might collapse.
That's correct. So we will see. And, I would say it wouldn't be a stretch to consider that this may be the dragon from the start of the campaign.
Oh,
Like that-
great. He has
that-
plot armor.
No, that's not overhead. Fuck, I shouldn't have said anything.
Dragon
So-
from campaign start definitely has plot armor.
Plot armor dragon.
No, this is like
It's
Game
like
of Thrones.
it's like Smog.
Oh, sure.
Fucking plot armor.
You are accusing J.R.R. Tolkien of plot armor? Although,
You're not.
I mean, look, Boromir was the only dude in the whole fellowship that fucking died. So, like,
He's really the only main character that died.
oh yeah, I mean, there are definitely.
I
other
mean,
characters.
a bunch of people died, but there's no like, of the Fellowship, he's the only one that dies.
Well, I mean, Legolas is like 3,000 years old at that, almost 3,000 years old, and Aragorn is almost 90, and he's been fighting in wars for like almost 70 years at that point, and Gimli's just literally too angry to die. So,
Toss me. Hey, I'm about to fight on a bridge. I might need to ask somebody to toss me.
yeah,
Do I get inspiration for that?
it's a long way. Aragorn says, he's like, I cannot jump the distance. You have to toss me. Oh man, now you're gonna make me rewatch Lord of the Rings.
We're wasted over the long distance.
I heard that.
Natural born sprinters.
Very dangerous over short distances.
Yeah, I know of a dwarf that was very dangerous over short distances, especially to himself when there are pit traps.
Oh my god. What a shame he's not here to hear such a fucking burn. That's hilarious. That is true though. I was like, hey, the traps reset every round, but the unspoken part of that is like, it doesn't mean they move. Like, what are you gonna
Literally
do?
the same trap
Yeah.
every round.
what
Could
are
you
you gonna do?
imagine like being in the crowd watching that?
Could you imagine being drunk in the crowd watching that?
He fell in again. You turned it into a
No!
drinking game.
This guy sucked. Oh man.
There's no way he does it a third time.
Yeah. You could literally take side bets on that action. Well, I think that we should pause here, and before we do, I'll give you the descriptive text of the bridge. The 4 stone towers that anchor the bridge on each side are 40 feet high. The drop below. Oh, it actually does reference the precipitous drop. It is in excess of 150 feet to the bottom of the gorge. And the bridge itself is about 300 feet in length. I'll write all this down and have it on the map for next time. So, but yeah, we'll pick it up here next week with the objective goal being to destroy the bridge, and of course, maybe a little bit of an encounter. Some encounter DPS.
Blow up the bridge, run.
I mean, you could literally blow up the bridge and teleport away if you wanted to. So, but yeah, we'll pause it here. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah.
I did.
Cool, me too. I thought there were a lot of really funny laughs this evening.
More elf dating than I thought there'd be.
Yeah, I was surprised, and let me tell you, Lethalia Star Whisper was just generated by ChatGPT. And when it was like, her skin is the color of moonlight, I was like, well, she's a moon elf, so we'll see what
Galadan might be smitten.
What do you think Galandan's like? What if he was just like a sleazy like porn mogul?
He might be. We don't know.
We got to think of something funny. I'm gonna ask him, like, if you were gonna be a porn mogul, what would you change what would be like your operating name? You know, like. Anyway, fellas, yeah, we'll pick it up here next week, and I'm glad everybody had a good time. And sorry we couldn't play last week, but we're back. We're so back. So keep that in mind.
All right. Well, we're only a few weeks away from Ren Fair weekend.
Yeah, Wes was saying we should try and do we should try and have like a little in-person game.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Have a couple drinks after the fair, and so.
I mean, it's not like you don't have any miniatures to use.
Yeah, that is true. I do have some miniatures to use. So, but yeah. So I also don't want to really start this when it's just when it's 2-man season, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Just cast Disintegrate on all of them, and we'll run.
the disintegrate spell is if I remember correctly, it's like a straight line. So they're lined up. Although I think it just disintegrates the first thing it hits. It's one of the only spells that can break the wall of force too.
I mean, that's just what they say in the CRPG. Baldur's Gate 3, though.
Yeah, in the masterful Baldur's Gate 3. Dude, next month they're releasing patch number 7 and adding 15 new endings, Kyle. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing next month, but let's get that shit rolling again, because I need to update my graphics card for Space Marine 2, and even though I can afford it, I just don't feel like spending the money right now. So
there's no such thing as an affordable graphics card.
let me see. I'll send you the one I've been looking at. I'm still running around with the fucking 970, which runs just about everything I needed to.
Yeah, it's just like the freaking Bitcoin farms and Ethereum farms have just like destroyed graphic card market.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am gonna need to upgrade here soon. Where is the? How do you look at your? Oh, there we go. I gotta look at my list, I guess. This is the card I was looking at, but I heard they're getting ready to release the 5,000 series. So,
well, that means that card might be cheaper then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait a little bit. But yeah, it's a 3060 for 284, which isn't bad. I mean, that's a humongous upgrade from a 970. So, and the nice thing is it's not fucking massive like a lot of the other cards are now.
Yeah, where you need to have like your own tower for them.
Sorry, I'm choking on water. Yeah, I don't want to have to reconfigure my whole case if I don't have to. So, but yeah, we can hit up Baldur's Gate 3 again.
Yeah, I just always have a fun time playing that. Until we have to fight each other over getting the dog.
Well,
so we're having an evil playthrough. No, we must have the dog.
No, I'm not. I can't be that evil. I'd like to also be able to recruit the owlbear cub.
We had that in one of our playthroughs.
Yeah, and Dave also has an owlbear cub in this playthrough. I believe it's in Savik's house.
That seems like a good place to store an owlbear cub in a house.
Well, I'm just saying, Savik, you might get home to a bunch of piles of shit.
Shit. He'll be lucky if he gets home and he still has a house.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty hungry. You know, they get hungry.
And destructive.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying.
Remember when somebody was playing a druid and all they did was turn into an owlbear and slam people?
I love that. I love that so much. It's the owlbear from the top rope.
I just picture that scene with what's his name, where they're all freaking out at Joe Rogan with the fucking MMA.
Oh yeah. Ah!
They're all freaking out.
Did you see the D&D movie?
The
Honor
D&D
Among
movie.
Thieves with a Chris Pine.
Yeah, I think we watched the Honor Among Thieves, right? Yeah. I'm terrible with movie names. So.
That chick, the druid in that, she turns into the owlbear. I actually saw that he gave an interview very recently that was like, I wouldn't count out a sequel to that, which would be awesome. Like, take my money.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
If there can be 11 Fast and the Furious movies, there can be 11 D&D movies.
I don't even know if D&D has that before.
Dude, sorry.
There's no way D&D is the strongest family.
Well, sign me up. I'll write. I'll be a writer. Sign me up.
There's only so much you can plagiarize. That you can actually get sued for.
Okay, well, that is a good point. So, anyway, fellas,
No,
Yeah.
You guys have a good one.
yeah, you too,
All
buddy.
right.
Thanks for coming, and we'll catch you next week
Yeah.
on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Well,
Well, this is going to be pretty fun.
yeah.
Bridge fight.
Listen, I have been waiting for this encounter for a really, really long time, and I am really looking forward to it.
Well,
You guys are going to start tangling. You guys are going to start tangling with elements of the actual Imperial Army, which is going to be nice. And yeah, I mean this map has a little bit of everything. You know, you got a dragon, you got a boss, you got like a mini boss, and an objective that you need to fulfill within a certain amount of time. Because if this vanguard is here at the bridge, it's reasonable to assume that the main body of the army is somewhat close to their current position, you know, not like right behind them or anything, you know, but they're coming. So,
Well, I'm so glad that you said that, because I think what I'm going to do is immediately turn around and disappear into the woods.
yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, this looks like it's
I
going to be
mean-
pretty fun. I think this will be you know, our first little, well, like one of our first little skirmishes with the actual army itself. $405.